Maha Shivratri, the great night of Shiva, is one of the most sacred festivals in Hinduism. Celebrated annually, this night marks the convergence of devotion, meditation, and divine blessings. But what makes this night so powerful? Why do millions of devotees stay awake all night chanting Lord Shiva's name? Let's explore the fascinating story of Maha Shivratri, its mythology, rituals, and the spiritual significance behind it. The marriage of Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati. Many ages ago, in the kingdom of the Himalayas, a divine princess named Parvati was born to King Himavan and Queen Mainavati. From a young age, she was deeply devoted to Lord Shiva, the ascetic god meditating on Mount Kailash. But this was no ordinary devotion. It was a love that transcended time and lifetimes. However, Lord Shiva had renounced all worldly attachments. He lived in deep meditation, indifferent to love, marriage, or desires. Yet, Parvati was determined to win his heart through penance and devotion. She left behind her royal comforts and retreated into the forests, where she began severe penance to please Shiva. For years, Parvati performed intense austerities, surviving only on leaves and later giving up even that, living on mere air. Her devotion moved the heavens, and the gods were astonished by her determination. Seeing her dedication, even the great sages and celestial beings praised her penance. Yet Lord Shiva remained unmoved. To test her resolve, he disguised himself as a common sage and approached Parvati.
O princess, why do you seek the love of Shiva, the one who roams in graveyards, wears ashes on his body, and adorns serpents? He is an ascetic, not suited for a royal bride like you.
You see Shiva as an ascetic, but I see him as the Supreme Lord. He is the eternal truth, and I shall marry none but him.
Impressed by her devotion, Lord Shiva finally accepted her as his consort. The heavens rejoiced as the moment of their divine union had arrived. The marriage of Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati was no ordinary event. It was a cosmic celebration. The divine wedding was arranged by the gods, with Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma present as chief guests. The sacred rivers, celestial dancers, and divine musicians added to the splendor of the occasion. As per Vedic tradition, Parvati circumambulated the sacred fire with Lord Shiva, symbolizing their eternal bond. With every mantra chanted, the universe itself seemed to rejoice. The Devas showered flowers from the heavens, and the mountains echoed with divine music. At last, Parvati became the consort of Lord Shiva, the feminine energy, Shakti, uniting with the supreme consciousness, Shiva. Their marriage was not just a union of two beings, but a merging of energies, the balance of creation and destruction, devotion and detachment, love and wisdom. Maha Shivratri marks this divine wedding, celebrated as the sacred night when Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati unite. Devotees observe fasts, chant prayers, and seek blessings for marital harmony, spiritual progress, and divine grace. This night reminds us that patience, devotion, and faith can even move the heart of the divine. Just like Parvati's unwavering love won over Shiva, true devotion can bring us closer to the divine energy that governs the universe. On this Maha Shivratri, may we remember the divine love of Shiva and Parvati and strive to cultivate devotion, discipline, and inner balance in our own lives. Om Namah Shivaya. The Samudra Manthan, the churning of the ocean. Many ages ago, a great cosmic event unfolded in the celestial realms, the legendary Samudra Manthan, or the churning of the ocean. This divine event was a battle of endurance, wisdom, and destiny, one that would change the fate of the universe forever. It all began when Indra, the king of the Devas, received a sacred garland from sage Durvasa. However, in his arrogance, he carelessly placed the garland on his elephant Airavata, who threw it to the ground. The furious sage cursed Indra and the Devas, stripping them of their divine strength and prosperity. This caused the Asuras, their eternal rivals, to rise in power, threatening to conquer the heavens. Helpless, the devas approached Lord Vishnu, who revealed the solution, obtaining Amrit, the divine nectar of immortality, hidden in the depths of the Kshirssagar, the ocean of milk. However, extracting the nectar was no easy task. It required the great cosmic churning of the ocean, an event that demanded unity between the devas and the asuras. The great churning of the ocean began. Mount Mandara was chosen as the churning rod, and the mighty serpent Vasuki was used as the rope. The asuras held Vasuki's head, while the devas held its tail, and together they began pulling back and forth, causing massive waves to rise in the ocean. The churning continued for centuries. The ocean raged and powerful forces emerged, some divine, some destructive. The first to rise from the depths was Kamadhenu, the celestial cow, followed by Uchashravas, the divine horse, and Kalpavriksha, the wish-fulfilling tree. Then came goddess Lakshmi, who was reborn from the ocean, choosing Lord Vishnu as her consort, signifying the return of divine fortune to the cosmos. However, with the divine also came the destructive. From the depths of the ocean emerged Halahala, the most potent poison ever known. Its fumes spread rapidly, threatening to consume all of creation. The devas and asuras trembled in fear, realizing that if the poison were not contained, it would bring the end of the universe. In desperation, the devas turned to Lord Shiva, the supreme destroyer, the one who transcends both creation and destruction. Without hesitation, Shiva stepped forward, displaying his unparalleled courage and sacrifice. Shiva, the compassionate savior, took the Halahala poison in his palms and without a second thought, drank it. The universe stood still, watching in shock, but instead of swallowing it, Shiva held the poison in his throat, preventing it from spreading through his body. To protect her beloved husband, Goddess Parvati gently pressed his throat, preventing the poison from reaching his heart. The poison turned his throat blue, and from that moment, Lord Shiva became known as Neelkanth, the blue-throated one, a symbol of supreme sacrifice and selflessness. This act of selfless sacrifice is one of Shiva's greatest lessons. Maha Shivratri celebrates this moment, the night when Shiva consumed the poison to save the world. It teaches us that true strength lies not in power, but in the ability to bear suffering for the greater good. The poison represents the negativity in the world, anger, jealousy, hatred, and Lord Shiva teaches us to control these toxic emotions without letting them corrupt us. When we meditate on Maha Shivratri, we too attempt to balance our inner energies just as Shiva did. With Shiva's sacrifice, the churning continued. Finally, from the ocean arose a golden vessel containing Amrit, the nectar of immortality. A great battle ensued between the devas and the asuras to claim it. But with the help of Lord Vishnu, disguised as the enchanting Mohini, the nectar was given to the devas, restoring their strength and balance to the universe. The churning of the ocean symbolizes life itself, a continuous battle between good and evil, knowledge and ignorance, materialism and spirituality. It teaches us that challenges are necessary for growth and that through patience and devotion, one can attain true wisdom and divine grace. On this Maha Shivratri, let us remember Shiva's selfless sacrifice. Just as he consumed the poison for the welfare of the world, we too must learn to control our negativity, embrace patience, and strive towards spiritual awakening. Om Namah Shivaya. The night of Shiva's cosmic dance, the Tandava. Deep within the mysteries of the universe, beyond time and space, there exists a divine dance, one that controls the cycle of creation, preservation, and destruction. This is the Tandava, the sacred cosmic dance of Lord Shiva, a dance so powerful that it dictates the rhythm of the cosmos itself. It is believed that on the sacred night of Maha Shivratri, Lord Shiva performs the Tandava, a dance that symbolizes the eternal cycle of existence, where life begins, flourishes, dissolves, and is reborn again. One aspect of the Tandava is the Ananda Tandava, the dance of bliss and creation. In this form, Shiva dances with joy, bringing forth life, energy, and expansion. The universe vibrates with its rhythm, and the forces of nature align in perfect harmony. But there is another side to this divine dance, the Rudra Tandava, the dance of destruction. This is the dance of transformation, where Shiva, in his fierce form, dissolves the old to make way for the new. It is a dance of chaos, yet it is also a dance of renewal. Maha Shivratri is believed to be the night when Lord Shiva performs his cosmic Tandava, spreading divine energy across the universe. On this night, the planetary alignments create a unique spiritual atmosphere, allowing devotees to connect deeply with Shiva's divine energy. At the famous Chidambaram temple, where Lord Shiva is worshipped as Nataraja, the cosmic dancer, priests perform sacred rituals, believing that on this night, the veil between the physical and spiritual realms is thinnest. Those who meditate with devotion can experience Shiva's presence within their own consciousness. The Tandava is more than just a dance. It is a reminder that everything in existence follows a rhythm. Just as Shiva creates and destroys, our own lives move through cycles of joy and sorrow, beginnings and endings. Maha Shivratri teaches us to embrace change, surrender to the divine dance of the universe, and find inner peace amidst chaos. So, on this Maha Shivratri, as we chant Lord Shiva's name and stay awake through the night, let us remember that we too are part of this grand cosmic dance. No matter the challenges we face, Shiva's Tandava reminds us that every ending is the beginning of something new. The story of the hunter, the power of devotion. Long ago, in a dense and dangerous forest, there lived a hunter named Suswara. His life revolved around hunting animals to provide for his family. But despite being a hunter, he had no knowledge of rituals, prayers, or the gods. His world was one of survival, not devotion. One evening, as he ventured deep into the wilderness, he realized he had gone too far. The night was approaching, and the dangers of the jungle surrounded him. Determined not to return home empty-handed, he climbed a bilva tree near a lake, hoping to ambush a deer that would come to drink water. What Suswara did not realize was that the tree he had climbed was no ordinary tree. It was a sacred bilva tree, and beneath it lay a Shiva lingam, hidden under fallen leaves. Unaware of its presence, he sat above it, keeping himself awake through the night. Throughout the night, Suswara's hunger grew, yet he remained alert. Unintentionally, he had observed all the key rituals of Maha Shivratri: fasting, staying awake, offering bilva leaves, and meditating on the Lord's name, as he constantly whispered Shiva while shivering in the cold. As the first rays of the sun touched the forest, a divine voice echoed, "My child, your devotion has reached me." Startled, Suswara looked down and saw the Shiva lingam beneath him. Lord Shiva himself had appeared before him. Overwhelmed with emotion, Suswara fell to his knees. He had not performed any traditional worship, yet his sincerity, patience, and endurance had unknowingly pleased the Lord. Lord Shiva, in his boundless compassion, blessed him with moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth and death. This story teaches us that true devotion does not require elaborate rituals or grand offerings. What matters is the sincerity of heart, patience, and unwavering faith. Even a man with no knowledge of God, through sheer endurance and devotion, found divine grace. Maha Shivratri is the night of divine grace. It is a reminder that Lord Shiva looks beyond rituals. He sees the purity of one's heart. Those who dedicate themselves in devotion, whether knowingly or unknowingly, are blessed by his infinite compassion. Maha Shivratri, a night of inner awakening. Maha Shivratri is more than just a festival. It is a journey towards inner awakening. It is the night when divine energy is at its peak, when the barriers between the physical and the spiritual world dissolve. allowing us to connect deeply with the Supreme Consciousness, Lord Shiva. Unlike other Hindu festivals, which are celebrated with feasting and festivities, Maha Shivratri is about introspection, silence, and devotion. It is a time to turn inward, to seek the divine within, and to experience the eternal truth that Shiva represents. The symbolism of Lord Shiva in spirituality. Lord Shiva is not just a deity, he is the embodiment of the supreme cosmic energy. He represents pure consciousness, the stillness in the midst of chaos, and the ultimate truth beyond time and space. Maha Shivratri reminds us to embrace his qualities within ourselves, to remain centered, calm, and detached from negativity, no matter what happens in the external world. Just as Shiva remains unaffected by the distractions of the material world, Maha Shivratri encourages us to detach from worldly desires, ego, and illusions, leading us towards spiritual liberation. Why do devotees stay awake all night? The practice of staying awake during Maha Shivratri is deeply symbolic. It signifies vigilance, awareness, and the quest for enlightenment. It is believed that on this night, the cosmic energies are aligned in such a way that meditation and spiritual practices yield profound results. According to yogic traditions, the human body's energy naturally rises on Maha Shivratri. Staying awake and sitting upright helps this energy flow upwards, awakening the higher chakras and leading to a deeper state of consciousness. The significance of fasting and rituals. Fasting on Maha Shivratri is not just a ritual, it is a means of purification. By abstaining from food, we discipline our bodies, quiet our minds, and focus on spiritual growth. Offerings like milk, honey, and bilva leaves symbolize surrender, devotion, and the purification of our thoughts. Every action on this night carries deep meaning. The pouring of milk over the Shiva Lingam represents the washing away of ignorance, while bilva leaves symbolize the cooling of one's restless mind. Through these sacred rituals, devotees seek to align themselves with the divine consciousness of Shiva. Maha Shivratri as a path to liberation, moksha. Maha Shivratri is considered a gateway to liberation. It reminds us that just as Shiva remains detached from the illusions of the material world, we too must strive to break free from our own limitations, our fears, our attachments, and our ego. On this sacred night, those who chant Shiva's name with true devotion, those who meditate upon his form, and those who surrender their hearts to him are said to receive his divine blessings, guiding them toward ultimate liberation or moksha. Maha Shivratri and self-realization. In essence, Maha Shivratri is not just about Lord Shiva, it is about each one of us. It is a night of self-realization, of transformation, and of awakening to the higher truths of existence. It teaches us that the divine is not separate from us, it resides within. How is Maha Shivratri celebrated? Worship of the Shiva Lingam. On this night, devotees perform Rudrabhishek by offering milk, honey, and sacred bilva leaves to the Shiva Lingam. Each element holds a symbolic meaning. Milk for purity, honey for sweetness in life, and bilva leaves to cool Shiva's fiery energy. Devotees stay awake all night, chanting Om Namah Shivaya and singing bhajans, symbolizing their unwavering faith and surrender to Lord Shiva. Millions of devotees visit famous Shiva temples like Kashi Vishwanath, Amarnath, and Kedarnath to seek blessings. The energy on this night is truly divine and powerful. It is said that meditating on Maha Shivratri can help attain spiritual enlightenment. Many saints and yogis consider this night the best time to experience inner peace and self-realization. Message of Maha Shivratri. Maha Shivratri is not just about rituals, it's about understanding the deeper meaning of life. Lord Shiva represents the power of transformation, destroying negativity and embracing wisdom. This festival teaches us that true devotion is not just about worship, but about embodying qualities of patience, discipline, and surrender. Did you find this story of Maha Shivratri enlightening? If yes, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more spiritual and mythological insights. Comment below on your favorite story about Lord Shiva. Wishing you all a blessed Maha Shivratri.